hadn't even said it yet. This is the Levels Podcast. I am Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG, Willie Mason. OG, I think we can officially say the State of Origin is behind us.
Done.
The NRL has reignited, restarted. We're about to roll into round 21, and we're ready to go to finish off the season. Let's find out who are contenders and who are pretenders, eh?
Do you think the competition's in quarters, right? You could break it down into 4 quarters. That first little run into Origin.
Yep.
So about 12 games or whatever, get through Origin. Then this little third quarter's the hardest.
Okay, so
And
Origin period is the second quarter?
Yeah, and then the finals is the last quarter.
Yep.
This is the third quarter. So that's how like S&Cs and all that sort of stuff break it down,
Yeah,
fitness-wise, where you reassess right now and see where you are. As a group, injuries, how much of a run can we do, like all that sort of stuff. We need to win this from that. It starts getting real technical now, and every session counts, you know, like just trying to get your players up. And that's where Penrith have been just dominating. Their S&C and all that crew out there, they're really on top of stuff because everyone just seems to be firing at the right time. And they know that whatever they're doing and how hard they're working, it pays off.
For sure.
Because look at that grand final last year. That was a fitness thing.
It's such a good point you bring up there to start off with. Where start of the season, everyone front loads their energy and they want to
get in,
maximize.
jostling for position. Hopefully we get out of Origin and we're unscathed.
Yep.
All right, let's reassess. All right, we've got fucking 6 or 7 weeks. Let's go for it. Let's push.
Also figuring out who you are.
Yeah,
the first
your
quarter.
identity, man. We always say that.
Yep.
About 10, 12 games, figure out what the fuck you are.
Second quarter is maintaining your roster, health, recovery, making sure everyone's fit and getting through that period. It's time to re-amp it up and then how you finish in the fourth quarter, right?
And then you get the finals, whole new ball game.
And you know what? It's what you said about Nathan the other day. It doesn't matter what he did in the first half. It doesn't matter what you do in the first half. All that is the build-up. All that anyone cares about is how you finish.
19
and
minutes
what team
of just
finishes.
fucking fury.
Let's roll,
and domination.
Baby. I love it. I love it. What a way to start the show. And another great way to start the show is by showing some love to our partners at BSC, mate. And in case, well, maybe this is the first time you might be listening, but I'm just going to keep telling you, they're available at Coles. So maybe you're listening to us on a podcast, you're going for a run, you feel like your energy's a bit down, but you love listening to the boys and you got a bit of perk in your step.
Get one.
Get some BSC cans into you and it'll make you even go even harder. There you go. And also, while you're there, and you haven't hit that button yet, hit that subscribe button or follow us on Instagram and TikTok because it all helps. I was saying to Lukey just this morning while we're grabbing our coffees, Mace, about how it's a really good way for us. And, you know, you don't do this sort of stuff, but for me, it just reminds me that we're continually building something, and they're only little. It's like they're little wins every week. You know, I go on. We're plus 400 on YouTube subscriptions. We're plus 500 on Instagram. We're plus 1,300 on TikTok.
Can I just say something? Yesterday, I was at Bondi Junction with the great Rennie Matua. This is when you know, like you're like on TikTok, right? When school kids recognise me, right? They should not know who I am unless they're diehards, right? And they're like, that's
That's OG.
I said, that's the guy from the TikToker or some shit, but like I'm like, oh fuck, it's happening again. It's like I'm 22 again. So yeah, it's good that they show us a lot of love, but I know that like we're hitting when a bunch of school kids like they recognise my head.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah,
and that's
good.
a representation
and they're really
of TikTok.
good. They're really nice kids as well, most of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. TikTok, that's the biggest one.
That's the TikTok.
Yeah.
That's their demographic, right? School
Again,
kids.
Mate, look, so plus 400 YouTube, which is mad. This is that's how we build our show. Yeah, plus YouTube. 500 Instagram, plus 1,300 TikTok in the last week. Like that's from last week's show. So while you're there, if you're on Apple and Spotify, you can leave us a podcast review as well. This is off the back of a Roosters fan. And my perceived hate for the Roosters due to me losing to them in the grand final. But this is a good message, and I really appreciate this from Dean Collis. Hey, boys, love the potty. Got some stats I want to throw your way and would love your thoughts on the potty regarding the Roosters. Yeah, Dean Collis used to play for the Tigers. Yeah. He's also a Wakey legend as well. Shout out to the Cats if they're listening over in Wakefield.
Of course
one of the boys messaged me. I'm really close with all the Wakefield boys. This is just a little bit of a tangent.
Jody Broughton loves the show too.
Love Jody.
JB.
He's doing good
him,
stuff over there too. One of the boys messaged me and goes, we now have a recovery room, a sauna and a jacuzzi and a state-of-the-art ice bath. The chef is cooking proper food, 20 ground couches and a pool table coffee machine.
Good's that?
Yeah.
Is that Wakey?
Yeah, this is one of my good mates, Matty Ashurst, because it was rubbish before.
Rubbish.
And he goes, you should see the Cats now, Hoz. Madness. But that's just like, that's what all clubs should have.
That's just your standard stuff.
That's the standard. That should be the standard. But for the boys back home, it's so good to see. And then they also just a little bit of tongue in cheek. They need to bring back the wheelie bin with a few ice cubes that we used to do the ice baths in. We used to do ice baths in a wheelie bin that obviously they didn't put any rubbish in, like it was.
Yeah, that's how we first started. Billy Johnson used to do that in 2000, right?
Yeah,
99, 2000. That's when this crazy old bastard started it.
We were doing it in 2019.
I was about to say that. I was like, that's 20 years late, but better late than never.
Yeah.
That's what we used to dump in. And Jonathan Thurston, you couldn't get out of that shit. And he used to just throw fucking just like cubes of ice. It would be like in the minuses. That's how fucked up it was.
Yeah.
And JT just sitting
big
there,
blocks,
freezing blocks of it.
Yeah. JT's got no body fat on him, does he?
He hates him.
Anyway, back to this. All right, so I'll start again, mate, for you, Dean Collis, because went on a little bit tangent there. Hey, boys, love the potty. Got some stats I want to throw your way and would love your thoughts on the potty regarding the Roosters. 2018, lost to Melbourne in round 16, but beat them in the grand final. 2019, lost to Melbourne in round 15, but beat them in the prelim to make the grand final and then win. Considering it was after Origin, players should have been rested, in my opinion. We are comfortable in the 4 with a pretty easy run home. I feel like the boys in the squad who have won grand finals, prelims, tried to step it up, e.g. Teddy, Toops and Rads, which is a fair point. They definitely went after it. But our younger group haven't experienced those important big games yet. And we were rattled when it came up against a system like Storm and Penrith. 10 to 17 of our players are fresh signings within the last couple of years. And in doing that, they haven't learned how that winning mentality in big games yet.
That's a good point.
I'm a Roosters fan. I agree we can't beat the Roosters and Penrith most days, but finals Roosters are different.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think you hate the Roosters scope. I think you have high expectations from them going back to before this lean period against both the Storm and Panthers, going back-to-back in 18 and 19. Yeah. And that's 100% true, mate. It's understandable, your criticism. Appreciate that from you, Dean, because I couldn't have summed it up perfectly. My problem and my perceived hate for the Roosters is not because I want to see them go bad. It's because I think they're too talented to be where they are and not winning these games against the against the Panthers and Storm.
Yeah, I agree. I just think they have a lot of guys like Brandon Smith and Sam Walker that haven't played together in big games, and a couple of the other younger guys. But we expect a lot from the Roosters. That's the problem, and they need to figure it out because before they know it, they'll be going against these guys in the first semi-final and then a prelim or something like that. And I just don't think that game on the weekend last week really shows where the Roosters are. They had a lot of players. There's some players backing up, and it's that real shitty part of the year where you just come out of Origin. If they can get them in the first final, then that's a really good indication. Not now. And I said that. I said, I'll let them slip only that once. Then I just looked at that game and went, Melbourne just looked like they just mentally got them now. Mentally.
Here's one for you. I'll throw this at you and see what you think about it. I reckon, Harry Grant was clearly busted in the middle parts, games 2 and 3, and then didn't play his best Origin series and was a little bit banged up throughout. I think there's a world in which if it wasn't the Roosters and Bellamy wanting to keep that mental, when you got the mental edge on a team like the Roosters that you're going to come up against, you want to really put the foot on the throttle.
They front-loaded big time.
And vice versa with the Roosters. Same with the Roosters. I reckon Robbo's seen it as a really important game. That's why he played Angus, who probably shouldn't have played, because he's had a huge year. 12 weeks, big Origin series. There was a couple more, like Connor probably, he's sweet. He comes off the bench. Who else played in the is there one more that played in it? Anyway, but my point is, I believe both coaches seen it as an important game in the sense where I feel like Robbo wanted to get over that hump before going into the finals.
I agree. He probably just played his cards too early. Yeah. I reckon Robbo should have just probably went, all right, we get you in the finals, then you're going to see the real Roosters. I'm going to rest everybody, because I would have been going, we're probably a big chance of getting pumped here. This is not a time to make a statement.
Yeah,
this is not a statement game, right? You know what I mean? The statement game's in the first round of the semis when you're playing against Melbourne or Penrith. There's the real test, not now. So I would have grabbed all my boys and went, all right, you beat us now. Sweet, take a loss.
Yep.
And then just front load when you get them again.
Yep.
And then if you look at that game, you learn something. It's like, okay, you started Naful White and Terrell May. Yep. You start Lindsay and you start Hargraves. It's a different deal, because the only reason why they had those spaces on the edge, because they were dominating the ruck.
Yeah,
they dominated the ruck, right?
You're right. They blasted through the middle.
And those blokes, it's not going to happen in a prelim or anything like that with those guys there. With Lindsay Collins and Hargraves, and you got Cheese, and you got like Connor Watson and stuff like that. I think they can really handle them. Then it's going to be a totally different game because they come out of the blocks as best they could, Melbourne. They really front loaded that, and they caught them off guard. They did, and I think that's a tactic. It's not a fluke that Melbourne can do that. They do that to anyone. They know they will look at the starters, man. Blast the middle, Harry. Go through them. Because you've got boys like Kamitha and that, man, they're fucking huge. What are you going to do to him? He gets a couple of late offloads and they've got some dudes. Josh King, he's a dog, man.
They had some joy on the right edge as well for them.
Yes.
So the Storm's left and no one's
Anderson looked like he fucking should be in the Origin.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked good, man.
I reckon there's a world in which no one's attacked that right edge because of Radley because he's been an enforcer. And
because of Joey Manu. Right, so you had Tupanua over there, who's a back rower. Of course, you're going to get him. You're going to get him skating all the time.
Yeah,
you're going to get Anderson's a fucking quick dude, man. And that other big centre, that's where they got him. They got Tupanua. He's a back rower playing in the centre, just trying to make do.
Yeah,
and that's just a tactic that Bellamy's like, fucking, let's go.
Yeah,
bang, 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 and just they didn't stop, man. They were just going boom, boom, boom.
Left edge
all day. You add Munster into that. Come on, bro.
Looks like.
But you put Joey Manu back there, and you put Victor back there, and then you got a different.
Well, Victor was there.
Yeah, but you got a different kettle of fish there.
But with Joey's
Sam Walker on
presence.
Sam Walker on his game. They spot up. They get up Sam Walker easy.
Well, there'll be. I think we'll probably most likely see Joey. Judging by that broken hand, he'll probably be back probably the first week of finals.
Really?
Otherwise, you wouldn't rush him, would you?
How long has he been? 3 weeks now? 4 weeks?
2. Did he do it in the second Dragons game? Right at the back end of that second Dragons game? So maybe 2 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks.
Has it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well,
but I'm not rushing him back.
No.
But surely they've got someone else where Tupanua can slot back. Where's the kid who had the mad year last year?
Ponga? Junior Ponga?
Yeah, him, another big centre.
He smoked Taff off in that hit, remember? Or Connor Tracy, and he got suspended for 4 or 5 weeks.
The big Billy, is it Billy? Someone?
Oh, Billy Smith.
Where the fuck's Billy Smith?
Billy Smith's injured. He's always injured.
Damn.
Yeah.
And that was your replacement. Now you've got a genuine back rower, not a guy who can play like a Sonny Bill back rower centres. He's a back rower.
He's a genuine back rower, yeah.
He's a genuine back rower sitting on that island out there at the right edge. That's the hardest position in the game. That's why they're getting smoked.
If Angus Crichton wasn't playing so well, he's probably more suited to go out in the
I'd put him out there just to defend.
Yeah.
No ball, just defend, which sucks for him. But surely you can get someone else out there.
I believe Junior Ponga would be either back this week or next week because he got suspended. Billy Smith's been injured. Michael Jennings is playing this week.
I'll be Jenko on the right centre, man.
Yeah,
I'd swap Suoliti around. I'll just put Suoliti over that right edge.
Yep.
Just fix that hole up,
and Jenko on the left.
Because it's a proper problem now.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford to lose, just say 3 or 4 games.
No, I don't think they're not going to lose to anyone else. The problem is making sure they've got the right roster by the time.
Right now, the teams that they play, everyone's just going for it, man.
Yeah.
The only one that sort of has to go, we're
Manly.
done, is the Tigers and Para.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the Warriors will still be fighting every single game because mathematically they can still make it. So once you lose that, that's when you drop it.
Yeah. Jenko's 18th man, so he'll probably play, right?
Do you know what I'm saying? You've been in positions like this, you're not dropping it at round 22.
No,
you're playing all the way until you can't make it. And you're still going to go hard and try and ruin people's fucking finals dreams.
Yeah.
That's what everyone does.
Yeah.
That's why you see all these stupid upsets in round 20, 24, 25, 26.
Do you remember when
Tigers are great for it.
Did you play in the last game of 2015 when we played against the Sharks?
I was suspended.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Remember we had the big melee? I don't know if you remember.
I got suspended for a shoulder charge. My last NRL, I was suspended for 3 weeks.
Did you?
Yeah, on Tommy Burgess. Don't run at me, Tom.
Fuck. Is that the way you went out in the NRL?
Yeah, suspended. The way I come in.
Love it. I love it. Just a little misdemeanor, mate. Fuck, I don't remember that. Anyway, we had a little melee with in the scrum early on in the Sharks game. Yeah. And I had a couple of little things with Mick Ennis, at the back end of my career. Yeah. And as we're pushing and shoving, we were done. We couldn't go any. We couldn't make the.
We were equal 8th, but because 4 and against. Remember?
No.
Or was it 1 point?
Yeah,
2
sorry.
points?
We ended up winning that game, but no matter what, even if we got to,
we had to win by 300 or something.
Yeah. Points difference was done. Anyway, after the melee, I think Fletty started something, and then there was a bit of push and shove, and there was some chirp, and then I sort of said to. Mick, when we got a little break, I was like, mate, we were rats. We were looking at Mad Monday. Now we'll make sure we can fuck it up for you guys. Yeah. So they were sitting in top 4, and that pushed them out of the top 4.
Thank you.
Then,
that's what you do.
And then I think they went bang, bang and got, I believe they went bang, bang and got knocked out. Obviously, they won the GF the next year, so they fixed that.
on you. We're sitting in the south of France. We win. Who gives a fuck?
So, we're still winning in the south of France. This one's from Fezza. Dearden was also the last man off the back of your BSC dog of the week this week. Dearden was also the last man trying to tackle Moses, remember, when he was scoring the series winner. He took one last swipe at the ball as Moses was falling to score. He nearly got it. And that would have just, gave them just a little bit of
personifies him as a player, right?
Yeah,
that Queensland spirit, never giving up, all these plays. Coaches look at that and go, he got to be in there next year.
Yeah, I think
he's got to be in there next year. He just does Origin shit.
I reckon it's Munster in him, and I reckon maybe DC's done, and DC sits there as in he could be that veteran presence. Like if Billy doesn't pick him like a Gags, and if anything wrong was to happen, obviously you bring DC back in. But I reckon it'll be Dearden and Munster.
I think so too. That's a good mix. Both good runners too.
This one is from Ryan Gearing. Hey lads, love the content. Just wanted to thank you, Hoz, and the OG for touching on what it's like to play football out at Western Sydney. The reason why people would confuse Luai and Critter, etc., for being arrogant and running their mouth is because that's just how we were brought up out west. We don't care how good you are. We all think we are the kings on the field. And if you run your mouth and get licked or beat, it is what it is. Yeah. We will come back and prove you wrong the next time. I think that's a big credit to Panthers' success over the last 4 years. Thanks, boys. Yeah. Love that.
That's exactly how they are, man.
Yep. All right, here's one for you, Mace. I probably should give you a little bit more warning about this, but it's all right. It's around the Ashes. Question for Willie. The Ashes is happening next year.
Oh, man.
Could you give us the atmosphere when you played against Great Britain? And do you think the Ashes can rival State of Origin as the ultimate rivalry in league history? Now, I know
if they had played it every fucking 4 years like they should, they haven't had an Ashes since 2003.
It's never going to get to Origin,
bro. They'll never get to Origin. But like those games that we played in 2003 were some of the hardest games I've ever played. It was brutal. It's where the English game was at its peak there.
Was that the Fielden hit?
Fielden one? Yep. No. That was in 2006. That was the Morley on Kernsey.
Oh yeah,
that was that. That was like packed out every single game. Like scary as shit. Yeah. It was like Jamie Peacock was there. Fielden was in the team. Barry McDermott. Andy Farrell, fucking Sculthorpe, everyone, man. It was stacked.
Proper OGs.
Yeah, proper. They were tough guys, tough men. That was like some of the scary shit that I played. I was only 22. We had a young fucking side, man. And we only just won. And they're probably the most, out of the top 10 memorable games, 3 of those is at Ashes. Because we won in the last 5. We could have got that. I'd be sitting here going, we're the first team to get beat 3-0. Because it just went down to the last couple of plays in the game.
Moments?
Yeah, little moments. Wingy had a moment. Ricko's had a moment. Lockie, I was just like, Croc. We were just like sitting there going, how the fuck did we win that? And it could have been easy. A couple of little moments from those guys. They could have been sitting there going, fuck, we won. Yeah, that was some of the most memorable, coincides with it being so fun back then as well. Like society was just so much fun. Sitting in Leeds, like just Manchester, Barcelona, we're in Dubai, we're all around the joint, young men just having a great time. It was like fucking so much fun. We always sit back at Aussie reunions and shit and just always reflect back to 2003.
Yeah.
Always. You talk to Minnie, you talk to Croc, you talk to Lockie, you talk to Bedsy. They're going, 2003 was the wildest, craziest, best tour of all time.
Yeah, and you had, because a number of vets didn't play that, right?
Gordy didn't play.
Yep.
I understand this. The world was different. 2001, 9/11 just happened.
People were scared to
People weren't flying.
Yeah.
They didn't want to fly. They thought, the plane was going to crash or some shit like that. That was how scared people were.
Yeah.
So you guys I think Joey and about 5 or 6 of the starters in that Anzac test that I played in didn't play for that reason.
So Joey didn't play, Gordy didn't play,
I think Freddie? Legit sort of injuries and risk reward. Nah, fuck, I'll stay home.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Lockie led us over there. It was it was the best. It was the best.
How good. Yeah, Ashes, I'd love to see it.
I'd love to see that.
Is it just predominantly the England team with
Great Britain?
A couple of Irish?
Carney, I think.
Yeah, Carney played? Yeah.
I think they'll have a few more, obviously, with the growth that's happening in the UK, but not that many.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who could play outside of the English team. We'll have a look at that later. I'm looking forward to that. It'd be good.
It'd be good, man.
For international footy, I think.
I just don't understand why they haven't played it, because it was such a success in 2003. And then they went on to this Four Nations shit. And then it's like the World Cups, Four Nations, and then Pacific Cups, so many things. They just need to put that back on the map. The Ashes was the best, because I remember it's very nostalgic for me, watching the 92 Kangaroo Tour and Ricky Stewart doing that mad ball to Mal Meninga and just winning in the last like fucking minute. Like that's the shit that my old man used to wake me up and just say, watch this footy. I'm like, I want to be fucking that. And then you get to live those dreams. It's special.
That's so good. Yeah, the jerseys in particular stand out for me. Yeah. Like they were fucking cool.
And the track suits and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like I mean, we just got that. Like you think about like 94 Kangaroo Tour, 92, all that sort of stuff. It's fucking amazing, man. Those Kangaroo Tours, we were all like, that's the reason why I wanted to play rugby league, because of watching all that sort of shit. Obviously with Origin and everything, but like watching the Kangaroos go on tour over there, that's what I wanted to do as a young kid. And I'm pretty sure most kids who love rugby league, if they watch that sort of stuff, of course you want to play for Australia.
Yeah, they've got to bring it back. I think PVL's doing a good job.
Everyone's just like thinking Origin's a pinnacle. Back. Yeah, it is in Australia. Yeah. Still playing for Australia. That's, if you play in the Australian team, you're in the top 17 in the world.
All right, speaking of Great Britain and England, John Bateman is heading back on loan to Warrington. John Bateman's mid-season departure from the West Tigers has shocked the rugby league world, with some questioning whether Bateman or the club is the problem. According to the Daily Telegraph, Bateman has been loaned to Super League club Warrington for the remainder of the season before returning to Concord next year to see out the remaining 2 years of his contract. Wow. The move is expected to save the Tigers $100,000 plus on the cap. Bateman is currently on reportedly $670,000. However, some aren't buying the club's explanation, with your man Bulldog Richie telling Tuesday Night's NRL 360 he cannot see at this age how he can go now and come back.
How old's Bateman?
I reckon Batty would be 30 right on.
You put him in a good side, he's just going to do exactly the same thing. You put him in a bad side, he's going to do exactly the same thing. You know you're going to get. Yeah. You know what you're going to get. He's very consistent. He's just everyone at that club at the moment. It's just a fucking shit show. So like whatever happens now, they're going to amplify it and say there's something deep and whatever. Maybe it is what it is, right? Go save the money, save the club some money, try and get some other player, and then just come back next year fresh.
I agree. So
it's probably not more than that, man. It can't be more than that.
Yeah. The thought for most has been that. Because we're not used to this, it doesn't happen in the NRL. It's quite common in the Super League. It
happens all the time.
So Sam's obviously really close with Richo. Yep. He reached out to Richo. They're in a championship window for Warrington.
Yes.
Tigers aren't going to do anything. Everyone just assumes Batty's not going to come back. I think this works well for both clubs.
Yep.
You'd rather not have a vet there who is unsettled and frustrated. So he goes over with a chance to win a premiership, a Super League title.
Some young kids a chance in the last 6 games, see what they got. Like maybe you've got some younger guys going, you're not real sure of, throw them in there for 5 games, start them, get them up and see what they got. And then you can cut them or do whatever you want, tell them to move on. It's a business decision, guys.
Yeah.
It ain't bigger than what it is. It's a simple fact what you just said then. Sammy, boom, I need him. He could put us over the top because he's still a gun.
Yeah.
He's still a gun, JB. He's just in a fucking really bad predicament right now.
And he's clearly frustrated.
He's clearly frustrated. He probably goes, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I know this one.
I'm not putting that past either.
Yeah. So Lukey was about to tell us, I've seen that bit. So about Bateman. So the frustration, Bateman and Benji had a blow up about the senior players being treated like rookies and the rookies being treated like senior players.
Fuck.
So that was on 360 and that was from Hoops. The reason I wasn't going to say it because I don't like sort of telling that respectfully to everyone that happens on 360, right? You've been on 360. Sometimes I feel like they start shit that it's not, no one's confirmed that. There's no confirmed.
It's a conversation, right?
Yes. Can I see a world in which that happened? Yes, but has it been confirmed? No, that's sort of why I didn't want to bring it up, but I could understand that frustration from Batty if he did perceive that way, and therefore I can understand him being frustrated and Benji just going, go away, go to Warrington. Like, they probably would have had maybe a heated, just say if it did happen, it might have been probably somewhere where Benji probably wouldn't have wanted to see it happen.
People that try and act like coaches and players don't see eye to eye, they're always on an even keel. Fuck off, man.
Stuff, bro. Like, yeah, there's blow-ups in video sessions and after games when you're losing games.
People think it's just everyone loves the head coach and the head coach loves all the players. Yeah. No, man.
When we don't fucking see on when you fucking
and he's a fucking fiery prick, John Bateman, and he'll tell it how it is.
Yeah.
And Benji's like that as well. Yeah. Tempers flare up after games, bro. Like, don't try and think this is all fucking rainbows and lollipops, everyone. They're fucking real grown-ass men getting out there putting their lives on the line every weekend.
Yep.
And you fucking, like, things are going to heat up.
You can still have those conversations and be heated, but then also respect someone and go back and go, all right, this is why I said that. I was pissed off. I probably shouldn't have said that.
And then clearer heads prevail because you're all adults. And Benji goes back goes, okay, well, you probably get that offer from Richo, Sam Burgess involved as well.
Yep.
All right, best way for this not to happen again is get him out of there. We'll bring you back next year. Regardless, if they don't bring him back, they're going to pay him out. So it is fucking lose-lose for the Tigers. You can't just go, he's got 2 more years on his contract. You pay him out $1 million for what?
Yeah.
Get the football out of him, mate.
Yeah. As in,
and get him happy.
It's better long term for the Tigers. I agree. I think it's better long term for the Tigers and Batty if he goes over there, wins a comp, teams up with his mate George Williams again.
Yes.
Sam obviously got a good relationship with Benji and Richo. And then he sends him back when Jerome and Taruva next week. And the young guys have got a few reps.
And I think whole new coaching staff, right?
Yes.
It'll be new defensive coach, new attacking coach, new everything. The only thing that's going to be there is Benji. So that'll be a different vibe for John Bateman.
In saying that, we said we assumed that he should be doing that. The only one that's left is Robbie Farrow, so I'm not too sure if he is indeed cleaning out his staff. That's just what we said.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not really up to Benji.
Yeah, it should be Richard.
It's the GM.
Yeah.
With like things that happen like that, Gus takes care of coaches and stuff.
He makes sure everything in and around Benji is set so Benji can concentrate on...
That's what a good GM does.
Concentrate on the playing group.
Yes.
Yep, I like that. All right, another one with some indecision and 360 just rolling them out for us this week. Mitch Moses' contract clause. So Brace said on 360 it's time for the Eels to make a big call on their captaincy and officially hand that role over to Mitch Moses. It comes after veteran News Corp journalist, the GOAT, Buzz Rothfield, reported on Monday that incoming head coach Jason Rolls was considering pulling the trigger on the leadership decision. So Mitch Moses is signed 24, 25, 26, but really has a player option in 27, 28. So it's realistically 2 more years left on his contract.
Yeah. What's he, 31? 30, 31?
30, 31, yeah, same as Batty.
Just seems like it. Well, been around for a minute. He's been around for 10 years. Come on.
These are the contracts where...
And he's just starting to kill it.
Yeah.
This is peak Moses now.
Players have been rewarded for their talent and they're getting to that age where you've got to make some decisions. I got a different take on this.
He's just reaching his peak.
What's your thoughts on do you think it would settle Mitch, giving him the captaincy?
Is it a big deal to him?
We're on the same page as well.
Is it like, does it mean the world to him to captain Parramatta? Is he like, oh my God, I'm not captain, I'm not a fucking, I want to release? I don't think he's like that. Just fucking, you captain or not? Like, you captain material, you're in the leadership group. If you're in the leadership group, you're pretty much one of the captains.
Well, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
My take was going to be, I don't think the captaincy means as much to people as it has been in the past.
Right.
And I think there are so many leadership groups. I think the prime example, and this is all due respect to what Cam Murray does week in, week out for the South Sydney team.
Just because you run out first doesn't make you captain.
Yes, you wear the C as in, but it makes you captain, but it doesn't mean you're running the team anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just doesn't mean, like, I've been in teams where you run out first. That doesn't mean you're the captain of the team.
Correct. So
it's a leadership group. That's the captains of it.
So my point is Latrell and Cody clearly run the team once they're on the field. So they don't necessarily need the C next to their team to run it. Cam will lead by his actions, obviously, and same thing with Gutho. Like, Gutho is another perfect example. I've joked around about this since I say it tongue in cheek, but Mitch basically does 70 or 80% of the captain's challenges anyway.
Yeah, they're in it together. You can tell. No one's running out going, I'm captain. No one's at training and like going, yeah, I'm the captain. Like, no, like everyone sort of knows who the leaders are in the team, and you just roll like that.
Yeah,
you just run out first, bro.
And you go and flip a coin.
Yeah, before you do all the dumb shit.
And you know what was really good at it? Actually, here's another
all the press conferences.
Here's another perfect example. So when we were at Manly the year before you got there, that we had co-captains in Kinga and Killer. Now I think the plan
Jamie Lyon and
Jason King. Yeah, well done, thanks mate, because we're bad at that.
I'm bad at that. King and Killer. Everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Manly greats. So obviously Jamie Lyon was a reluctant captain and he didn't want to do any of the media shit. He didn't want to do the toying costs. And Jason King was one of the best communicators I've ever been around with in footy. Like, his footy IQ and the way he addressed referees and addressed the playing group was I always say he was an underrated part of that Manly dynasty that they had. So Jason did that bit, communicated with the rest when he was on the field and did the coin toss and did the post-match stuff for the most part. And Jamie was basically our captain that, well, what are we doing on the field? Because Kieran and Daly were so young in their careers, they didn't really fucking say anything.
Yeah.
So we knew that Jamie was our leader. even though he's a co-captain, and Jace took care of all the other stuff outside of the shit that Jamie just didn't want to do. So I think Gutho's perfect at that role because Mitchie can get a bit prickly. I reckon there's a part of Mitchie where, as he's got older, he's got better, but I don't think that'd be appealing to him to be doing all that shit.
I think he loves what he's doing now.
Yeah, he's just running the
games, running the team. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I've been playing with Kurt Gidds. Kurt Gidds was a great captain because he's a Newcastle boy, so it means a lot to him, right? Yeah. And he's a one team, one town, that sort of born and bred Newcastle man. He's born to captain Newcastle. It's a difference there, right? If you get someone who's not a Newcastle person leading you out, it's a different vibe, man. That's
a good point.
Very different vibe. But when you play, if you're not you don't have to be a Parramatta Junior, Bulldogs Junior to captain the Bulldogs. You can come from out. Like Pricey was a captain. He's from Toowoomba. He's a Queenslander. Yep. He's a great captain. Bobcat, great captain. Yep. But we had great leaders within those clubs as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Roosters and all these other. Braith was a good captain. Everyone was. But like they knew that he's just as strong as the playing group. This is the leadership group, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to do deals with them as well. So we all sit around midweek and do some meetings and all that sort of stuff. But like you need everyone on the same page. You can't just be, I'm captain and all you guys are just little kids. Doesn't work like that because the group will end up turning on you. So
and circling back to Mitchie and the decision, like it's a really like if you are going to balance and just say you want to give that to Mitchie, you got to think about like Mitchie and Gutho are as close as probably any player in the competition as well. So you got to do it in the right way.
Back to the point. I don't know. I've never heard Mitch Moses come out and go, I want to be captain. It means the world to me to captain Parramatta. No one says that. No one's come out like that. And also you're taking shit up.
But also you're taking it from his best mate too.
Yeah,
so you're taking
leave it how it is.
Just say if you think that's going to make Mitch happy, but also you're taking a role away from his best mate in the team, then that's going to be...
means more to Gutho than it does to Mitch Moses.
Well, just because he's had it and like it would be perceived
has he done anything wrong with it? Yeah. Obviously you're going pretty shit.
18 months have been rough.
He's highly respected, Gutho, within the football community and his peers. Like, I don't know why they just seem to make these narratives up about certain players. Like, just fucking shut up. It is what it is. Like, no one cares. I don't think Moses actually cares about being captain. He knows he's part of the leadership group there.
I think Moses' frustration is more not
winning
anything like that, not winning, and also I think it's the higher ups at Parrot that he has his dramas with, not the fucking.
Apparently he's going to the Roosters, isn't he?
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's what Buzz reckons.
Love you, Buzz.
Love you, Buzz.
All right, the NRLW kicks off tonight, Mace. Before we get into the team list for the rest of the games in the NRL for round 21, I'll give you my picks for round 1. The Knights kick it off tonight against the Roosters, defending back-to-back champs. The Knights get the job done. Give me Jessie Southwell anytime, $4. So she was the half that was left out of the New South Wales team.
Filthy.
I reckon there's a little bit of fuck you against anyone who knows NRLW, and she makes a statement tonight. The next game is the Sharks versus Cowboys. We love the little pocket rocket, Jada Taylor, who we seen at the airport. Remember her last year?
She's a little gun.
Yeah, she's a little gun. She had her first year in NRLW last year, and she'll be better for that run. She's paying $2.50 anytime. Broncos versus Eels. They'll be really hard to beat this year, the Broncos. And I'm going to go the blockbusting centre, Mele Hufanga, who was close to top try scorer last year. She scores for fun, $1.70, but she could cross for a couple. As for the Dragons versus Titans, I'm on the Titans to go one better this year. I think they can get the job done and win the competition. They're stacked all the way through with Origin stars. And my favourite one out of all of them, I think she's the best outside back in the competition. I'm going Chapo, Jamie Chapman.
She's a gun.
$2 anytime. And the last game, this is the hardest game to pick of the round, Tigers versus the Raiders. I'm going to go Raiders with a bit of class from Zahara Temara. And I'm going to go Grace Kemp. She played for New South Wales. She's the redhead that come off the bench. She had a rough game in the decider up there. She dropped a couple of balls. So I'm going to go her to bounce back. Anytime, $6.50 off the bench.
Ooh.
Yeah, front row through the middle, through the guts. I think the Tigers
ball off the 9.
Yeah, I think the Tigers are lacking a little bit through the middle. So those are my picks for the NRLW. And I'm going to add them to my run sheet and see how we go with the NRLW as well. All right, mate, let's get to the NRL. Kicking off round 21, we have the Warriors versus the West Tigers, Friday, 6 p.m. at Go Media Stadium. The Warriors have Roger Tuivasa-Sheck moving from wing to fullback to cover Tane Tuilpiki. He has a head knock. And Ed Cossey, my daughter, has been smashing. I got the notes here. She's got some Lenny's been
What are you talking about?
Here we go.
Yeah.
Let me get this. And Ed Cossey coming in on the wing. Your boy, you like this. Remember the young kid, Mawala Graham Torfa, is in the new centre in place of Adam Pompey. Remember he made his debut about 4 or 5 weeks ago?
And you're
like, who is he? So he's in now. He's back in the centres for Adam Pompey, who hurt his knee, and therefore that led to the kick in of Chanel Harris-Tavita. As for the West Tigers, Adam Dewey has been rested. Stafford Toa, we've seen him on the way down to Melbourne. Remember, he's getting some so both him and Latu find him.
Latu, they're back. Good.
They're back, so
That's
that
good.
must have worked for him going down to Melbourne, which is good. So Aiden Caesar got suspended for the hip drop. Skipper Api Carousel.
Aiden Caesar.
He's had a couple of hip drops. He's got to work on his technique a little bit,
mate.
Because I don't think they're like out and out hip drops, but
They fucking look like it.
Yeah.
Drops his hips on the back of their legs. Stop fucking doing it.
Well, that's a hip drop, isn't it?
Jeez.
Skipper Api Carousel returns from a calf injury, so Talon De Silva, who was really good filling in, he goes back to the bench. Back row, Isaiah Papali'i is also back from an ankle injury, and Alex Seafarth, of sitting in the box with Benji Marshall fame last week, returns on the bench with prop David Clemmer, who replaces Fanua Pole. Ruben Porter comes in for John Bateman. I've said this before, big frustration. Man, he must have some runs on the board so far to be sitting on. He was sitting on the right of Benji. If you're not, this is a pet peeve of mine.
Superstar.
If you're not a superstar or in the spine, fuck off out of the box.
Yeah.
Go sit down with the team.
Yeah.
What sort of information does Seafarth need to be sitting next to Benji?
I know.
And helping either Benji out or Benji giving him information that's going to help him. Sorry, this is Seafarth. I'm not having a massive crack at you. Just like... Yeah, there's levels, right?
Unless you're Kalen Ponga or something like that.
Like, if I see Mace sitting next to Benji, sweet. If I see me, get me the fuck out of the box. What are you doing in the box? And Seafarth,
Wouldn't you rather, and I've tried, like, I think when Wayne was the coach and stuff, like, come sit up in the box, I'm like, it's the fucking worst place to sit.
Yeah.
It's the most stressful place I've ever sat in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Everybody in the coaching staff is on fucking edge. I'm like, this is awful. I want to talk in the box. I'm like, you got to shut up. I'd rather talk to a punter.
Yeah.
Talk about the game. Talk to my teammates. Sit right eye level. I'm like, get me out of the box. It does my head in.
There's nothing better than talking a bit of shit with the boys. Like
Wayne was asleep. Wayne was asleep one time.
I know, yeah. That was bad.
He was sitting late. I thought he was awake and asleep. I was like, Wayne, you see that? And I just went, scared the shit out of him.
I don't know how he can fall. So anyway, let's get back to the picks. Warriors are... Why haven't I got this up? Sorry, apologies. Here we go.
Warriors are favourites, right?
Warriors are favourites, yeah. But I'm just trying to get the start.
Tigers are good like this, but they might come in
12 and a half.
Start upsetting teams,
Do you think the Warriors can beat them 13 plus?
I don't think they can get beat by 13 plus or win by 13 plus. This game's fucking all over the shop.
Okay, pick one of them then.
Yeah. Tigers.
Tigers with the start. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tigers with the 12 and a half, but you think Warriors will win head to head? Yeah. I'm with you on that. Actually, I've gone the opposite. I've gone Warriors. I think this is a must-win game.
Yeah.
And I think this is a part of the season where a few teams, like you said, need to flex their muscles. If Warriors are any chance, they not only have to win, but they need to win convincingly.
We'll see how deflated they are after that game last week, because that was brutal.
Yeah.
Just watching that kick and everything like that and just going, I could just see the air just go out in that stadium. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Warriors win. I'd love to see them in the top 4, but they've just shown me all year. It's fucking round 22. They're still doing the same shit they were doing the first 6-7 rounds.
Round 21, but yeah.
You can't even look when they come out of the blocks and they're like fucking 14-0. I'm like, they still haven't got this. Something else can happen. So the Tigers are one of those teams, if they can defend, which I think there'd be a lot of emphasis this week on defense, right?
Yep.
And you just got to front load against the Warriors. It's a physical game and they love playing that. So they're going to have to man up. And I reckon they've got points in them.
Yeah.
Slyly, right? Yeah. Galvin and all these blokes, they're young kids, man. They got a fucking memory like a goldfish. They don't care. They'll just go back at you, but they just need to really emphasise about contact, detail at marker, all the little things, and I think just some of the players coming back a little bit more experienced, they might be able to get them.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking, it's a game I really don't give a fuck about. Yeah. It's round 22, and it's a fucking Friday night game.
21.
20, yeah. But come on, put something else on.
There you go. At least the Wise fans got a 6 o'clock game. Oh, well, so it's 8 o'clock for them back on.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the Wise. I'm going to go, Wise fans. I'm with you, baby. Minus 12.5. Roger, Tuivasa-Sheck, anytime at $2.15. The next game is Parramatta versus Melbourne. And we have, for them, Bryce Cartwright and Sean Lane, a name to return or start after coming off the bench in their last game against the Titans. Joey Lussick and Makahisi Makatoa have been added to the interchange bench, and Sean Russell returns on the wing. Lorenzo Mulatalo, Matty Arthur, and Matt Dury with Charlie Geimer all out as the side that lost in round 19. Interesting, just quickly, Matt Arthur has been given permission to look elsewhere because of compassionate grounds.
The young hooker?
Yeah, because of his dad. I actually like that from Parramatta.
Yeah, it's nice.
It sucks for Parramatta because I think Matty's got a whole heap of potential.
Yeah, he can play.
I reckon he'll get snapped up pretty quickly.
They haven't got a genuine 9 there, have they?
No,
Hands and Lussick?
No, I think he should be the future of the club, but I understand the situation.
Been struggling since Reid Marnie left, actually.
Yeah.
He made the semis, so
true.
There's something there.
True. Sorry for the Storm. Big one. Cam Munster, the money man, he's listed amongst the reserves. Welshie, I try to ask him too. I text him. He leaves me on blue.
Red.
He leaves me on red and doesn't respond. He gets real weird when he's coming back from injuries. Or
doesn't want everyone to know.
It's like I'm going to like. What he doesn't know is because we do this, I always lie if there's anything related to people that I know. Like
whatever you say, I got this from Munster, just think opposite. People.
Yeah, the opposite. Or if I think, oh yeah, Munster played, but he still left me on blue. Christian Welsh and Nelson Solomona are also named to return. So therefore, Alec McDonald makes way while Joe Chan was suspended.
Joe Chan, a shoulder straight in the head too. He's lucky. They're the ones that they've got to get out of the game.
Well, you could argue
there's a couple that's been floating around because they're not big names and people haven't got broken faces. They just need to eradicate that. That and the little hip drop, man.
You know what? Was it on Rads?
Game. Yeah.
Was it on Rads?
It was on Rads, yeah.
I'm telling you, man, there's something, I fucking say this all the time. If outside backs do it, there's less force.
And forwards, mate, they don't give a fuck.
And when enforcers actually get jammed back
refs
and middles get hit, they don't. Yeah,
the refs love it.
That easily could have been a send off.
Yeah, because are you waiting for like someone's face to be broken? Like Rads,
broken jaw.
Just because Rads is a tough brother, like
it was either Angus or Rads. I'm sure it was one of the big dogs.
It was Rads.
It was definitely
rattled
Rads.
him, mate. Because Rads is one of those guys he plays like he's 6'5".
Yeah,
but I think he's taller than Ren. He's 6'1". He's just got Ren just. He's 6'1". Ren's 5'13", he reckons he is. So like that hit, I'm like that needs to. Like send for 10 or something. That's what you're trying to get out of the game. Even like Caesar with that hip drop, that's a hip drop. That needs time. That's not just a penalty, mate. Like so players are just...
Time. Both of them got time. They both got suspended.
For those things?
Both things, yeah.
Oh, fucking good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But they just need to like, as I said it at the start of the year when they had the young kid Plath, right? They had a chance to really make a stance there.
What did he get, 3 weeks?
Yeah, that should have been. Like, I'm not saying just because it's like I love him as a player, but like it's not a Cam Munster. It's not a pin-up boy. It's like a guy who's just fighting his way through.
So make an example.
10 weeks, send him off. Seriously, I'm saying like no one will do it again.
I thought you were going to say 5 or 6.
No, they won't do it again, bud. Right? So they're like the repercussions are massive. You're like you miss 10 weeks in a year, your season's fucked.
You know what though? He's one of the most improved players in the competition.
I love Max Plath. I love him.
We would have lost Max Plath for all the 10
Yeah,
weeks.
I know, but like he's not a household name, so you can really fuck around with dudes like that. You can't get rid of a Kalen Ponga, but like you got to make an example.
You would have gave me 10 weeks.
But I'm saying like, if you're going to make something out there and go, okay, we don't want this to happen, right? Because the amount of kids playing in the junior system, SG ball and flag that have got syndesmosis from hip drops and people not knowing how to fucking tackle. Do you know what I mean? Like
I understand where you're
going. Evolution. I'll give you the evolution of a hip drop, right? So back when we were playing, it was more about if I'm running at you, you're trying to put me on my back. No wrestling component. Yeah, no wrestling component. No underhooks, no hips in, all that sort of shit, right?
Yep.
So if I win the tackle, I find my front, you lose the tackle, fucking just get around my legs, whatever. But then since the wrestling kept coming in and evolving, you try and manage me, give me a little bit. If I keep powering through you, where do you end up? At my fucking back.
Yeah.
So that means what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You drop your hips to get the tackle done.
Yeah. Because you just drop your weight.
It just naturally happens.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't do it on purpose, but you just drop your weight and you don't mean for that to happen. But that's actually happened now because these big, strong guys are coming through the line. If you don't fucking hit hard and try and get me on my back, you're losing the tackle, mate.
Yeah.
So now the hitting's come back with a little bit of wrestling.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like they've got a fine line. So if I'm running at you, you miss that tackle. The refs need to say, get out of the fucking tackle if you've lost control.
Yeah, so that's
because they're coming back for their second hit, and it's mainly happening on big runners, right? And it's usually the little guys that can't get you down because you stand there, Joey Tarpanay's there, Fanua Blake. How do you get him down?
Yeah.
And that's why they got the rules now, grabbing a leg and all that sort of shit, penalty. Like, because that's making it even harder. Because you can't grab a fucking leg, you can't tip him up or anything. Yeah. So if you don't get fucking gorilla grip around his hips when he's got a wide base, what I'm saying like wide base like Tarby, he's got his one fucking leg's there and one's there, you can't get that shit down. Your takedown defense needs to be fucking like John Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard. So they
get in the way.
Yeah.
Just like,
so they're just holding on and next minute they just drop their hips. So like the refs need to fucking understand what's going on. You lose that tackle, get out of the tackle. Right? Before something shit happens. That's how Max Path did it. That's why Caesar does it, because he doesn't dominate tackles. All these little fuckers that can't dominate tackles, they don't put their shoulder through their fucking chest. You missed it, mate.
So if you miss your contact...
You miss your contact and you want me to slide through, give me 5 or 6 meters and then fucking jump on my hips. Get off.
Yeah. Everything's a reaction for a reaction. Like the more you develop rules, the more they'll figure out a new way to stop you.
And that's what they like, because in their head, they're like, it's not taught at training, right? It's not taught, but it's a natural thing. If you're not a good defender, you'll get around the back of him and then just drop your hips. Happens in fucking under 12s all the time.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's coming through the game. And they've got to eradicate it. Anyway.
Parramatta $6.
Anyway, Parramatta, what do you want? Anyway, Melbourne Storm 13 plus.
13 plus. Yeah. All right, the line is 17.5, so they think they're with you. The table with you.
Big Nasty and Welsh coming back. 6 games of fury.
Yeah, but Parramatta have always had a pretty good record against Melbourne. And when I asked Munster about
2009.
No.
Nah, sorry. Low hanging fruit. Love you, honey.
Love you, honey. Yeah, $6.50, 17.5. That's a bit too much, I think. But I am going to go, if the money man plays minus 17.5, the money man doesn't play, then I'll take that plus 17.5.
Regardless, I think.
Whatever he does, regardless of him leaving me on blue ticks. Storm minus 7.5.
That's fucked.
It's the only time. Pappenhausen, $1.75. Yeah. All right, let's roll down. This is going to be a cracker. This is going to be a fucking doozy. Yeah. The Broncos versus the Bulldogs, 3 p.m. game. I like it. I like a Saturday afternoon game for these two teams
up there
because it's a battle of two completely different styles. Broncos want to score points. Bulldogs want to stop points and get you in the washing machine, get you in the cycle. The Broncos welcome back Selwyn Cobbo, who's back from a groin injury. Therefore, the Oats, Corey moves to the 18th man. Kobe Hetherington moves in the starting side in place of Brendan Piakura, who's listed amongst the reserves after suffering a groin injury. I reckon Corey Oates should be on the bench as that swingman back rower outside back.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think that's what happens. Blake Moser is the new man on the bench. As for the Bulldogs, just the one change with Lipoi Hopoi joining the bench in place of Chris Patola.
What's up with Chris? He didn't get much time.
Not too sure.
He didn't get much time.
The Broncos are $1.35 favourites. The Bulldogs are $3.25 underdogs. And the line is 9.5.
Big game, man.
Huge game. Big ramifications.
Last week can fucking hurt us, man.
Can the Bulldogs push towards a top 4 position? They need to win this game. Can the Broncos make the 8? They need to win this game. With all that being said, desperation for both teams.
Both teams. So these are the games that bring out the best in players. Like, look at the Broncos team. It's stacked. But I have to go with my Bulldogs, man. Their defense is going to be has to be on point. This is the most potent attack in the game. And they look like they're hungry. They're saying all the right things, Brisbane, but they know that if they catch a bit of fire, that's the team. If I'm like in the top 4 now, I'm like, where's Brisbane? Yeah. Keep losing. Come on, dogs. Give us one. Give us one. Give us one, right? Yeah. Give me one of your best, because I know the Bulldogs, they've worked so fucking hard. I'm not saying every team works up, but I personally know. I'm like, okay, well, they deserve something. But then every team's like, oh, I deserve this. But like, fuck it.
I played...
It's hard. It's a hard one because I'm like, the Bronx app there is so hard to beat right now in this... I can't fucking hell.
I played golf with Blake Tuff a couple of weeks ago. We played at the Coast and played on Wednesday, and I was just talking about the Bulldogs. Said, comparing them to South, and he goes, bro, backing up what you say about how they're training harder than they were last year when it was perceived they were training too hard, and all those stories were coming out. Sack Ciro because he trained them too hard.
This time last year.
Taff goes, bro, this is the hardest I've ever trained. Like, days are so long. It's like
long, bro. Yeah, and you train that for games like this.
Yeah.
For games like this is like round fucking 21.
Yep.
You've worked your ass off all preseason. Everyone's sort of like second guessing what's going on from last year. And look what position you're in. You're coming 6th. You're in the fucking top 8.
And if the Broncos feel like they want to take a shortcut in this game, the Bulldogs won't.
Good luck, yeah.
Yeah, they won't. I'm still going to go the Broncos. I think they're the most dangerous team outside of the 8, so that's my reasons. And I'm on the Wonder Boy, Reece Walsh. And there's a bit of a theme to my anytime try scorers, so see if you can figure it out by the back end if you're listening. So the first 3 have been Tuivasa-Sheck, Pappenhausen and Walsh. There you go. There's a little hint. The Cowboys versus the Sharks at 5:30 p.m. This is another doozy.
Wow.
So youngster Jackson Purdue has been named to start at centres with Val Holmes on the wing. However, Origin rep Murray Taulagi is amongst the reserves. Here we go. Here's a prediction. Val Holmes plays centres, Murray Taulagi plays on the wing, and Jackson Purdue is the swingman off the bench. For the Sharks, Liam Eisen makes his NRL debut at fullback in place of the suspended Will Kennedy, which is a fucking joke that he got suspended for that. Push on the referee when he was trying to support.
What?
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago now. It's a joke.
I know. That's ridiculous.
Back rower.
The fucking way, ref.
Yeah, move. Adam G.
Mr. GG.
G-man. Back rower, Sifa Talakai returns on the bench from a 1-game suspension, so he's a big in as well. This will be hard to pick, I think, for the tab, and they agree. $1.70 favourites for the Cowboys because they're at home. That's why I'm going them.
Yep.
Cronulla at $2.15. The line is 3.5. Are you on the same page as me?
Yeah, I am.
Viliami?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'd say the Cowboys. They showed me enough last week. They won really ugly.
Yes.
They shouldn't have won that game. This is not me being an ex-Bulldog player. I'm like, Dogs had those guys, and they still managed to fucking pull it out with 5 or 6 players backing up from Origin.
You're right. I think it's a huge win.
So those blokes, they would be doing fuck all this week, especially early on in the week, and then they've probably front-loaded the back end.
So backload their
energy. Home game. This is probably the most important game of the year for them.
Yeah, this is huge. And Sharks pulled their pants down. Remember when we were over in New Zealand last year watching this game and they pumped them there? Royce Hunt come off the bench and had a fucking doozy. This is when Tom Hazelton announced himself too. Yeah. Royce Hunt and Hazelton off the bench. So Cowboys will be
Tamalolo looks good. Robson, they got all their key players that just come through Origin and stuff. They're all playing good.
Yeah.
Nanai looks like he's keen as hell. Lukey's back. Taulangi's back. A little bit of class on the edge there on the wing.
Lukey strung 5 games together now, which is good.
He's the shit.
Yeah.
He can play.
I'm with you, mate. I'm on the Cowboys minus 3.5, and Scotty drink more water at fullback when it's hot up at Townsville. All right, this is a fucking 4th versus 5th. The whole Super Saturday. What a Saturday. What a fucking Saturday. Seagulls, Roosters versus the Seagulls at 7:30. Super Saturday. This is the best Super Saturday of all year of the season.
I'll be in fucking Chinchilla. Yeah, with Wendell. I'm doing a corporate talk out in Chinchilla. Fucking hell.
Oh, nice.
It's like 4 hours west.
Yeah, where is Chinchilla?
Of Gold Coast. I thought it was just a jacket or an animal.
I thought
Chinchilla jacket.
I thought it was in Mexico or some shit like that.
A chinchilla. Yeah. Well, it's somewhere in Australia, so I'll see you on Saturday.
All right, you'll be watching this for sure though later on that night. Roosters versus Seagulls, 7:35 p.m. at Allianz Stadium. Robbo stuck with the same 17 that went down to the Storm. However, Lindsay Collins and Spencer Leniu are named to start. Yeah. This time, Seagulls, the loss of Leo Hopewadi with the eye socket sees Talau pushed to the wing. Benny Turbo to the centres. Corey Waddell into the back row. Taniela Paseka is named to start after returning via the bench last week, which means T. Sips to Toa Fafoa. Sipley will come off the interchange. This is my one. I'm the same as you. Probably we've got to back our teams right. So I'm going Manly plus 8.5, but it's going to be really tough. And I'm going Tommy Turbo anytime.
Scares me, Turbo.
Statement game.
Yeah,
Roosters.
Scares me. Yeah, Roosters. Scares me, but Turbo scares me.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for him to get that form back, right?
Yeah. Two good games where he's looked
sharp, right?
80%.
I reckon this one's the one where he goes, all right, I'm back.
If he flexes against the Roosters, they're legit.
They'll be top 4.
I cop a lot of criticism for obviously maybe hating on Sydney Roosters, but like I never really talk up Manly. I mean, I pick Manly every week, but I still think Manly got so many more issues, and like they're sitting at 5th, and I'm like,
how?
I still don't think they're real contenders.
Can you imagine, like, just say they're sitting 5th now, and they could probably count on their, like, 5 games they've dropped where they've just like, how the fuck we lose that?
Yeah, Raiders game.
Easily. Like, it's just like, how did we lose those games? We're in full control. Yeah, like full control. And that's what scares me. Yeah. They have to beat like a Roosters team that's fully flexed now.
Both these teams need to beat each other to become true contenders. Is that fair?
Yeah, and not even by much, right? If like just say the Roosters lose by 2 or Manly, but you compete and it's a top game, they're both winners. If someone gets blown out, then you're like, fuck, we need to reassess. We're not that good.
And Manly were really good against the Roosters at the start of the year too, weren't they? So they'll be looking for some revenge. It's a rival game,
man. That's never going to go away.
Yeah. The Dragons versus the Panthers on the Sunday ticket. 2 p.m. Dragons, the return of Origin stars Zach Lomax and Ben Hunt sees Michaela Ravalawa and Jesse Marshke make way. Raymond Fatola-Marino, who's been one of the better pickups of the season, is good to go after missing the Broncos game. He had back spasms before the bye. Luciano Leilua shifts to the bench. As for the Panthers, they got all 4 of their dogs back. Jerome Law, Liam Martin, Isaiah Yeo and Brian Toto. However, Dylan Edwards remains sidelined with a knee injury. Liam Henry goes back to the bench and Luron Patea makes way.
It's a hard game, man. Georgia up for it,
I think the Dragons will be better than what people think. $3.90 underdogs against the Panthers at Wynn Stadium. Panthers are $1.26 and the line is 10.5. I have gone the Dragons with 10.
I like the Dragons for the win.
The win?
Yeah, I reckon they'll win. I reckon this is a statement game going, okay, well, for Origin, you got all your Origin players back. I reckon they're just going to slyly beat them by like 4 points or something. It'll be tight as hell. Sunday Arvo down in fucking Wollongong, bro. This is what they live for. Every player, every Gong player, they'll be fucking there, man. Panthers are beatable.
Yeah.
Just beatable if you're on.
If you watch the Dolphins should have closed them out.
And you know why I'm doing that? Because Dylan Edwards just adds that little bit of fucking class on the end of stuff.
Respect for Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
With all those players.
Because I like Dane Laurie, but he's not Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
It's a different animal, that.
Yeah, wow.
That's it. If you put Dylan Edwards in that team, I'm like, Panthers, probably by 8.
Yeah.
Now it just sways.
Swayed me. Patrick Swayed.
Patrick swayed me.
My daughter's just.
There's 3 games on the fucking. What are you doing that for?
Where are we? There's hardly any changes to them though. All right, Dolphins versus Titans, 4 p.m. because they want to showcase the women on Thursday night for this week for the first round.
Okay.
And I reckon it's given
a bit of a rest
and all the Origin players an extra
that's
day.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Dolphins versus the Titans Sunday 4 p.m. at Suncorp Stadium. Wayne Bennett and Des Hasler have basically stuck with the same 17 that lost in Golden Point to the Panthers for the Dolphins and lost to the Seagulls in round 20 for the Titans.
It's a good game.
This will be a good game. I'm going the Titans plus 4.5 because I think it's a coin flip, and I'm going Keanu Kinney at $2.75 anytime.
Yeah, jeez. They probably set off a little bit of a rivalry of what happened last year, didn't they? With the Dolphins coming back and beating the Titans.
Oh, yep.
That sort of game. Like, that's the only memorable sort of game that the Dolphins had last year.
I'd say Roosters first round.
Yeah, but that one there, that's going to be in folklore with the Dolphins.
Yep.
In 20 years, I'll be speaking about that and their inaugural year and all that sort of stuff.
Greatest comeback in history, NRL history.
Ever.
NRL era. Yeah.
So, oh, God, I don't trust the Titans either from last week. Dolphins are way more consistent.
Okay.
Way more consistent.
Minus 4.5 though?
Oh.
As in, like, do you think they'll win by more than a try?
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah.
Not confident in the Titans defense as I was a week ago.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if they bounce back because Manly were really good, but Titans looked awful. Raiders versus Rabbitohs Sunday, last game of the Sunday ticket at 6:15 at GIO Stadium. The Green Machine stick with the 17 that got home at a tight one against the Waz. The Rabbitohs, just one change. West Tigers against the West Tigers. Michael Cheekham moves to the centres to replace Richie Kenner, and Jacob Host comes into the back row.
Shit. This could be it for South.
It's basically $1.62. Canberra minus 4.5. Do you think Canberra can win by more than a try, or do you think South can keep it close enough?
Canberra can win by more than a try, and I reckon they will. I reckon they'll really bury the Rabbits.
Okay.
It'll be a close game, but like no Latrell. I need Latrell back for this little run that they're going to go on if they have to win.
Cam Murray still missing one more
Cam
week
Murray,
too.
like that's 2 of your best players.
Yep.
I mean, Canberra's just awful to play against this time of year. It's freezing cold down
Why'd
there.
they do Sunday 6 p.m? Surely like Sunday ticket making
They
the 2
hate
p.m.
Canberra or
game?
something. They hate Ricky Stewart that much.
Why weren't they the 2 o'clock game on a Sunday?
Perfect game. Absolutely perfect.
Fucking freezing by 4 o'clock. You get them out of the way. They hate Ricky complaining all the time.
I mean, this is a game where like I think Canberra have just a little bit more to play for.
Yeah.
And that'll show in the back end of the game.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I agree. I got minus
If you had Cam Murray and Latrell in that team and they just come out of Origin, I'm like, yep, they're going to catch some fire. They're going to go for it.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, I'm with you for every reason that you just said then. All right, my Levels Bets Friend special for this week is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exact same model that worked last week. Broncos minus the start. This week it's 9.5. Reece Walsh to score in the first 60 minutes for $3.75 from the traders with a max bet of $25. And by the way, I think Reece Walsh is hunting at the moment. Another good show, OG. Remember, what are you really gambling with? And for free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858. Enjoy Chinchilla.
Yeah, I will.
And we'll see you when we get back. And I'm so keen to review round 21 because I reckon it's going to be a cracker. Specifically, Super Saturday.
All right. See you guys.